I'm going to show you my strategy for how I trade. First and foremost, I'm going to show you all the indicators that I use and as well the settings as well. So let's start with this angle attack follow line indicator by this guy. I use it mainly for my buy and sell signals, and you can add and reduce, which means adding a position and closing a position. The downtrend ribbon, I use it for filtering trends and finding pullbacks. And then the next one is the red K. I use it for momentum. As you can see here, trend pressure, pullbacks, all that stuff. And SSL hybrid for trend direction and for entry confirmation. And premium signals overlays. I mainly use the strong panel for multi-time frame analysis, and I use this trend line plus this X signals for potential take profits. There's also some additional indicators that you can use. Heat map, which is by this guy, which is a volume indicator. You can use it instead of the trend pressure if you prefer. And this one is also very similar to the heat map volume indicator, but instead it shows you the trend, like the direction, if it's a upward direction or a downward direction that the volume is being pulled towards. This is entry signal confirmation if you want to use that instead of the angle attack, but I do prefer the angle attack. And the BX Trender is also super useful. It's a all-in-one kind of solution, which is long-term trend, short-term trend, depending on what settings you put in, but I won't be going through that right now. So back to the chart. I'm going to show you all the settings for all my indicators that I use for this strategy. Firstly, it will be for the SSL hybrid. I use these settings, and because I scalp, I use this specific settings, but you can change the settings for more swing trading approach. But I know that the majority of you scalp just like me, so these are the settings. And the style. I will show the swing trading approach later on, but this is the style for the SS hybrid. The MMM premium signal overlays. This is the input. This is the style. Nothing much there. This is the follow line attack indicator. These are the settings. And the style. And notice here that you see this background right here. The background, which is blue and red, that you see at the back, it is actually the trend direction. So if it's moving up, it's going to turn blue on the higher time frame, as you can see here, the 3 hours. We can read more on the indicators presentation tabs, but it's basically a filter from the higher time frames. I chose the 3 hours because it's closer to the lower time frames than the 4 hour, but your choice. The downtrend ribbon, inputs, 30, style, it's just a change of colors. Nothing here, but I have changed the colors in such a way that makes it look like this, so you gotta pay attention to it. So next one, trend pressure. These are the inputs and the style. Alright, that's pretty much it for the settings. Before we do move on, I want to show the swing trading approach for the SSL hybrid. So let's go to 4 hours here. We're on the 4 hour right now. So let's go to settings, inputs. For scalping, it's either 50 or 100. And for swing trading, it's 200, 250, and 500 for really strong. As you can see, it shows the full swing trade. So there you go. And this is for the higher time frames. You can go to the daily even to see more of that. So let's change this back to 100. 100 is balanced in my opinion, and I do use the type TMA because it's much better in my opinion from the tests that I've done. So let's go to 3 minute because I usually do scalping. Actually, let's go to 4 hour just to make the demonstration much easier. So for entry criteria, for a buy criteria, the SSL must be blue. Basically, it has to be above the SSL. The candles has to be above SSL. We have to have a printed a buy signal, and the downtrend ribbon has to turn blue, and the trend pressure has to also be blue. And if all those criteria are met, we enter for a long, and we set our stop loss right below this SSL line, and I'll take profit to whatever we want, which is starting from a 1 to 1 and then increasing it to a 1 to 2 depending on your money management or risk management. For a sell for a sell criteria, it has to be below the SSL. We have to have a sell signal printed. Downtrend ribbon has to be red. Trend pressure has to be crossing over or red. And if all of those criteria are met, we enter a sell signal. We enter for a sell, set our initial risk to 1 to 1, then 1 to 2, then 1 to 3, or yeah. And now I am going to show you how to avoid false signals, especially on the lower time frames. So let's go to 3 minute. I do prefer the 3 minute because it's between 1 and 2 and 4 and 5, which makes it pretty balanced. Like you don't get too many false signals, and you get an early entry compared to the 5 minute. You get a later entry on the 5 minute, but on the 1 minute you get way too many false signals. So the 3 minute and like between, for scalping at least, between these areas is like best. But yeah, you can use all of them. Honestly, it doesn't matter. So how to spot pullbacks, reversals, and stuff like that. So we are on the 3 minute here. Here we can see that we have a range. There's not too much volume going on. We can see on the downtrend trend ribbon, we have this red line printed here. When we see that, we can potentially understand that it's a pullback that is happening, and we can avoid false signals like this. And so this downtrend ribbon sort of filters out these false signals. Here it says red, it says sell, but the downtrend ribbon is blue, so we don't take this. Same thing here. It does sell. Here it says buy, buy, and buy. So this would be a valid entry, but for extra confirmation for this kind of signals, we go to the higher time frame. We mark out the area. For example, if we had only this visible area, we mark out the area and this, and we go to the higher time frame, like the 8-minute, and we see that on the 8-minute it is pretty bullish, and that you can see on the downtrend trend ribbon that it's a pullback on the higher time frame. So yeah, you can use the higher time frame to spot pullbacks and reversals and stuff like that. Let's go back to the 3-minute, and that way we can avoid like potential false signals by just going to the higher time frame and seeing that it's actually an uptrend. And so we shouldn't take this sell because it's an uptrend on the higher time frame, and so it's going to continue. Go to 3-minute again. So that's how you can use a higher time frame. So for a buy and sell, you just check if this one is above the buy signal, this one is blue, this one is blue, and that the multi-time frame, the majority of this, especially the 5, 15, and 30, are all blue, then you can enter. If not, I recommend you don't enter. But I mean, you're the one making the decision, so it's up to you. Same thing here. You can also use the volume here to spot pullbacks. Let me find an example of a really good. Here we have it's above the SSL line, signal printed, the trend pressure is blue, and we can see in this area right here. Let me zoom in this area right here, if we go there, you can see that both this and this buy signal is blue, as downtrend trend ribbon is blue, but this one is red right here. Then we can understand that it's just a pullback and it's going to continue. Same thing here, it's a pullback, but we can also use it for exits, like when it crosses over to a red one, we can use it for an exit. So we exit out of the trade if we want to. And also for this area right here, if it's flat, we can potentially understand that it could be a range or reversal. Like here, we can see that it's flat, and it's flat all the way. And then we can be aware that maybe a reversal is coming if we were in a like downtrend. Like this is a better example. Here it's flat, here it's flat. We get a buy signal, blue line, it's above. So yeah, it's pretty simple really. We just use higher time frame to filter out a bunch of stuff. So that's literally my entire strategy. You just make sure that this one is above. All of it is green. The trend direction is on the higher time frame is going the same way. And then if this one is blue, this one is blue, this one is blue, this one is blue, we can enter. and set our risk management. It's pretty, yeah, that's about it. And you can use it to spot false signals by checking the area here. We can see that we shouldn't enter here because it's all blue. This one is red, this one is red. It just signals that it's just a pullback. And the same thing here. For example, this one is red, this one is red, but we can see the crossover here to the green shows that it was just a pullback. And so, yeah, we can also use the higher time frame to filter out that same area. As you can see on the same area. So that's about it. If you have questions, just DM me. And this is the strategy I use currently. Super helpful. You can enter on the... Oh, I forgot to mention, you can also set alerts for the SSL hybrid. You just click on set alert for whatever time frame. If it's a 4 hour, you can set alert for the 4 hour. For the 3 minute, any time frame, you just click, you just right click, set alerts, buy, sell, exit, exits, continuation, SSL cross, if anything crosses up or down, but I use the buy and sell. I don't use the buy and exit. I just use these two, and I set the date to like the last, and I just name it like this, once per bar, and then I just create. You can see it here, so I don't have to always check the chart. I just get an alert, I look at the alert, is it a buy signal, and then I check whether it's a false signal by just looking at these indicators. For example, we have a buy signal here, it's a valid buy, but if I'm not sure, I'll just mark out that area, go to the higher time frame, and check if it's underneath or below. And if it's underneath or below, I won't take the buy or the sell. Same thing here. If I had got a buy signal here for like this area, if I got the buy signal for that area, I'll check. Sorry, if I got a signal here, the signal is here. For example, let's say we got a signal on the 5 minute, that would be here. And if you're not sure, you just go to the higher time frame and just wait for it to match up. But sometimes you can enter earlier. For example, I'm on the 3 minute, so I will probably get my signal around this area, and so it's gonna look something like this for me. I get my buy signal, everything lines up. I just check with the higher time frames. This one is below, but you only do this if you're unsure. And so whenever it like crosses over here and you get your buy signal, you can enter. But I usually just get my buy signal. I see that it's actually above it. Go to the higher time frame to check. We can see that everything lines up. We got our buy signal, everything. And we just enter for a long position here. Set our stop below the line. This line or that line, doesn't matter. As long as you know how much capital that you're risking. But I usually like to have my breathing room stop loss to be a little bit bigger. That way you have more breathing room and it can linger around here before it goes up. But yeah, You can use these X signals for potential exits, or these lines here. Yeah. Here you can see a really good example of pullback. We have the sell. This one is turned red, but you can see that overall everything is blue. It's above the SSL, so you can be confident that it's gonna continue up. So that's pretty much my strategy. Really simple stuff. Hopefully this was helpful to anybody that needed it. Yeah. If you have any questions, just DM me. Alright, good night. Good night. Bye. Oh,